goes and we look forward to the 90s, everyone is wild about Troy Aikman from UCLA. The 27 teams can't do a thing about it. The Cowboys have already corralled him in Big D. Heisman Trophy winner Barry Sanders is short in size but tall in stature. His awesome ability will make one team's offense instantly dynamic. Strike up the band and make your own selections. ESPN presents the 1989 NFL Draft. You are looking live at the Marriott Marquis Ballroom, just a couple of ticks past noon Eastern Time, here in New York City, as the 1989 NFL Draft is about to begin. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and to use another song from Jerry Lee Lewis, there's a whole lot of shaking going on because before the draft has even begun, we've got some big trades in the works. It seems as if the San Diego Chargers have been talking to just about everybody that moves. One of the teams that's moving, the Chicago Bears, and it's a trade that might involve Jim McMahon, veteran quarterback of the Bears, going to the Chargers for a #1 pick. It hasn't happened yet, but it may in just a couple moments out at Lake Forest, Illinois at Bears headquarters, which is where our good friend Pete Axthelm is. Good morning, Ax.
Good morning, Chris. With my incredible instinct for news and sheer luck, I do happen to be sitting on top of the big story of the draft. It looks like McMahon's going to San Diego for 2 top draft choices, which right now, Mike Ditka, Bill Tobin, the personnel director, and owner Mike McCaskey are in a meeting. They have not finalized it yet. As soon as they do, they'll be joining me. In the meantime, an interesting thing is San Diego, I learned yesterday, was in the midst of a 3-way deal with Atlanta and the Redskins, which would have left a lot of draft choices exchanged in complicated fashion, but would have left Gerald Riggs in Washington. Where does that leave Bobby Beathard? Well, one more mystery of draft day. Let's go to Andrea Kramer. She's with McMahon's agent, Steve Zucker.
Thanks, Pete. We are here at the home of Steve Zucker in suburban Chicago. It is to be a day to celebrate draft picks to come, but one of Steve's greatest prizes has been Jim McMahon, and it looks as though, Steve, he may be heading out of Chicago. What do you hear? Can we substantiate any sort of rumors?
No, the rumors have been going on for some time. They seem to be really heating up today, though, and there's always a possibility. If Jim were to go anywhere, San Diego is the place he'd like to go.
What has transpired up to now? Have you talked to anybody? Has Jim talked to anybody?
No, we have not, and it's all, we've been hearing the rumors all morning long, and we're just going to respond to them as things break, but I guess that's up to the Bears in San Diego as to what they work out.
Well, we will be with Steve Zucker and later Jim McMahon here, and now let's head back to New York.
All right, Andrea and Pete, thank you very much. And so that's the backdrop as the draft is about to begin. It is an end for the career of Commissioner Pete Rozelle. This is his 30th draft that he will be presiding over, and it could be one of the most intriguing. We have a cast of thousands. We'll be live in more than half dozen places. We'll detail all those to you. And now here's the commissioner to start the festivities, if you will.
The 54th Annual National Football League Selection Meeting is now in session. First choice, first round, Dallas Cowboys.
Now, I can't imagine that this is going to be more than about a 3-minute call. I mean, the phone companies aren't going to make a lot on this one because the Cowboys made it official 2 days ago.
Cowboys select Troy Aikman, quarterback, UCLA. Next up, the Green Bay Packers.
And so it is now officially official, if you will. Troy Aikman is a member of the Dallas Cowboys, though he was signed and sealed, delivered a couple days ago. Transferred from Oklahoma to UCLA, first-team All-American last year, completing 64% of his passes, 23 touchdown passes a year ago, 209 completions in 2 years with UCLA, threw for almost 5,300 yards, 41 touchdown passes with only 17 interceptions. Troy Aikman wasn't asked to throw long a lot in the UCLA system, which might be some sort of a question as he goes to the professional ranks and becomes a member of the Dallas Cowboys. With me here at, there is Troy Aikman, is with the commissioner, Pete Rozelle, right now, and holding up the Cowboys jersey, which they're ready for him. I think you know these fellas, Tom Jackson and Joe Theismann. Joe, I'm going to start with you because you're the QB. You've said publicly you don't think Dallas should have made this move. Have you changed your stance?
No, I haven't. I think that Dallas could have made a better move trading this draft choice. I think they filled the need with Troy Aikman. And since the rule has been passed to only allow 80 players by June 1st, you have to take guys in a situation where they're going to have the ability to help your football team today, not in the future. This kid, being signed as early as he has, will have a chance to go through camp, and I think Troy Aikman will be the starting quarterback. I still believe they could have gotten more help if they'd have traded this pick, but it's good for the Cowboys.
Tommy, the Cowboys, what do you think? I mean, they need someone to throw it.
Well, you have to have a good quarterback. Somewhere in your system, if you want to win championships, you're going to have a good quarterback. I think the thing I would like to see this kid do is have a chance to sit on the bench and learn. Coming from Oklahoma, he really has only been a player 2 years at the major college level. I think he will need to sit on that bench for a while and get some experience before they throw him in under fire.
A couple of notes on Troy Aikman. Last year, of course, no quarterbacks went in the first round. He's only the 6th quarterback to ever be the first overall selection in the draft. A couple years ago, we had Vinny Testaverde in '87, John Elway, of course, by the Colts in '83, Steve Bartkowski by Atlanta in '75, Jim Plunkett in '71 with New England, and Terry Bradshaw in 1970 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going in the draft, meaning since they started the common draft in 1967. So a quarterback number one hasn't happened all that much. Another interesting note, only 6 quarterbacks picked in the first round since the start of the common draft in '67 have ever won a Super Bowl ring. Greasy, Bradshaw, Plunkett, Sims, Doug Williams, and Jim McMahon, who oddly enough we were talking about today. So, Troy, it doesn't guarantee the Cowboys a Super Bowl. It doesn't guarantee success, but the Cowboys figure that they might as well go for him because he's the best quarterback in a lot of people's eyes. Certainly ranks even with Vinny, and we'll get into a little bit more with that with Mel Kiper and how he ranks. But the suspense is over in Irving, Texas for a couple days. Still, our Chris Myers is down there now with a couple of fellas who have studied Troy Aikman pretty closely. Chris?
All right, thanks very much, Chris. It is D-Day in Big D, and the Cowboys in selecting Troy Aikman, only the second time that they have ever used their number one choice for a quarterback. The first time was way back in 1965 when they selected Craig Morton out of California. And Ed Tuttle-Jones was the last time that the Cowboys had a first pick overall in the draft in 1974. They chose him. Of course, he's still hanging around on the roster. But we're talking about Troy Aikman and making it official today. And there really was never any doubt, Coach Jimmy Johnson with us, that you were going to make him your choice.
Well, there was no question in our mind for the simple reason, you know, we've known Troy for a long, long time. He's a class individual. I think he's a very talented individual. And we looked at the long range. We looked at the future of the Dallas Cowboys and what player was going to have the greatest impact for a long time. And we really feel like that this year, Troy Aikman, without question in our mind, was the player that we needed and the player that could have such a positive influence on our club.
Now, there was talk of trade. San Diego, Kansas City interested. New England, we hear, offered their top 3 selections this year and the number 1 pick in 1990. You did listen to those trade offers. That has to help a little bit.
Well, we did listen, but that's all we did. We felt like that it would be to our benefit to find out what some of the clubs were willing to give up. But, you know, really we didn't waver. We knew that Troy was our guy, and thanks to our owner, Jerry Jones, who I think's done a fantastic job with the organization, he was able to not only draft him number 1, but he was able to go out and sign him.
The Cowboys' new owner and your good friend is with us, and they're kind of like striking it rich in the oil fields, huh? Getting Aikman right off the bat.
Well, Tom, you know, we're thrilled to have him on our club. Our fans deserve the Troy Aikmans if we can get them and have a chance to do it, and we knew we wanted him bad. The only one that wanted it worse than we did was Troy. He wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy as well. And when 2 people want each other that bad, then you can get together real quick. And we're going to have him out here practicing just as quick as we can.
How soon, how quickly would you expect him to start for this football season?
Well, he's got competition, and a lot of competition, and he's going to have to make our club. And Coach Johnson will, I'm sure, be able to evaluate that as we go. But he's the quality of player that